I met Madison 4 years ago at a friend's game night. She walked in like she owned the place. Red dress, perfect smile, voice that made the room quiet. Everyone noticed her before she even said a word. When she laughed, it was the kind that filled every corner. I remember thinking, she's different. Not quiet, not pretending to blend in. She talked about her travels, her job, her friends. Somehow, every story circled back to her. But nobody minded. She had that energy people chase after. When she sat next to me, I forgot what the game even was. She teased me about my old car, called it vintage. I laughed because her tone made it sound playful. She said she liked that I was calm. Steady, she called it like it was a compliment. We started seeing each other more after that night. Coffee runs, late drives, lazy weekends. Everything felt easy at first. We cooked together in my tiny kitchen. She danced barefoot on the tile, singing off-key. I thought that kind of happiness would last. She made every simple thing look brighter. Even grocery shopping felt like a date. She'd push the cart while making jokes about cereal brands. I'd watch her laugh and think I'd won some kind of lottery. She had this way of making normal moments feel cinematic. The first few months were all smiles and inside jokes. I didn't see the cracks forming underneath. When she mentioned how her friend's boyfriend booked a Paris trip, I didn't care. I thought it was just conversation. When she said she wanted more, I thought she meant more time together. I didn't realize she meant more money, more status, more sparkle. But back then, I was blind to it all. She'd post our photos online, perfect filters, perfect captions. People commented, relationship goals. I believed it too. We weren't goals. We were a performance she wanted to perfect. Still, I didn't see it then. I thought her confidence was something I could learn from. She always needed things to look a certain way. The right outfit, the right angle, the right story. I thought it was harmless. I thought it was part of who she was. One night she said, "You make life feel calm." I smiled. She didn't. I didn't know calm would one day mean boring to her. We spent that summer chasing sunsets, pretending we were fine. I ignored the way she sighed when someone else's success came up. Ignored the flicker in her eyes when she compared me to others. Because I loved her. And love made me excuse everything. I thought we were growing closer. But really, she was already measuring how far I fell short. Back then, I couldn't see it. Back then, I still believed love was enough. And maybe, for a while it was. Before the scoreboard started to count. It started small. A comment here, a glance there. At a barbecue, Madison stared at Ryan's new SUV like it was art. "Must be nice," she said loud enough for everyone to hear. I smiled, trying to play it off. "Mine has air conditioning. I'm good." She laughed, but her eyes stayed on the car. Later that night, she asked, "Do people get promoted often at your job?" I said, "When it makes sense." She hummed like she didn't believe me. That was the first time I felt her comparing. The first time I felt like I wasn't enough. After that, the comments came more often. Sarah's boyfriend got a raise. Logan bought a condo. Her friend went to Greece. Each story came with the same pause, the silent question of why not us. I tried to ignore it. I worked hard, paid bills, showed up on time. I thought that counted for something. But to Madison, effort didn't matter unless it looked impressive. She wanted glossy moments, not steady ones. She wanted what other people had. One weekend, I built shelves on our balcony for her plants. Measured, drilled, leveled everything perfectly. When she came home, she looked for 2 seconds. "Thanks," she said. Then she showed me pictures of Sarah's apartment. They hired a designer, magazine ready. I wiped the dust off my hands and nodded. Guess my shelves weren't enough. Dinner nights turned into competitions. Someone would mention travel, and she'd sigh. Logan surprised Sarah with Paris tickets last month. I smiled politely while everyone looked at me. I wasn't flying anyone to Paris. I was just keeping rent paid and dinner warm. Her phone became the scoreboard. Photos, captions, quotes about ambition. If he wanted to, he would. I knew what that meant. It was never said directly, but I felt it. I wasn't the man she wanted people to see her with. I was the man she settled for, until something shinier appeared. She scroll Instagram while I cooked. Mid-dinner, she'd sigh. They're in Italy. Look at this view. I'd nod. Cool. She ask, don't you want more? I did. Just not the kind of more she meant. I wanted peace, not pressure. Love, not leverage. But she couldn't see the difference. Her world was made of upgrades and comparisons. Mine was made of consistency and care. We spoke the same language, but meant different things. When she said success, I heard exhaustion. When I said happy, she heard lazy. Still, I kept trying. I believed she'd see what we already had. But every compliment came with a comparison. Every smile hit a scoreboard. And without realizing it, we stopped being partners. We became players in a game I never agreed to play. And no matter what I did, I was always losing. The cracks widened slowly. Little arguments that turned into quiet distance. Madison said she wanted to redo the bedroom. She showed me a Pinterest board full of perfect spaces. White walls, golden lamps, furniture that looked untouched. We can get new bedding, I said. Maybe a lamp. She frowned. Sarah's place looks amazing. They hired a designer. I kept measuring the rug, pretending not to hear the comparison. She didn't post any photos when it was done. I guess it wasn't magazine ready. Work dinners became worse. Every conversation turned into another scoreboard. Someone mentioned a bonus, and Madison leaned in. She loved hearing about other people's success. Then she'd glance at me like I was her unfinished project. At home, she scrolled through photos of vacations and cars. Wouldn't it be nice to travel? She asked. Sure, I said, when it makes sense. It never made sense to her. She wanted everything now, the life, the image, the applause. I just wanted something real. Her phone buzzed with notifications while we ate dinner. Every post was another reminder of what we were. She'd sigh and say, look, Logan just bought a Tesla. I'd smile, good for him. She'd stare at me like I'd missed the point. The truth was, I understood perfectly. She didn't want a life with me. She wanted a performance starring her. The small things I did stopped counting. Fixing the sink, cooking dinner, paying bills. None of it mattered if it couldn't be posted online. At parties, she joked about me being too simple. People laughed awkwardly. I laughed too, but it stung every time. When we got home, she'd say I took things too seriously. But it wasn't a joke anymore. It was who we'd become. She called me comfortable like it was an insult. I called her ambitious, hoping it sounded like praise. Neither word meant what it used to. I stayed quiet to keep the peace. She mistook my calm for weakness. One night I asked, what do you actually want? She said, more. More what? She didn't answer. Maybe she didn't even know. She only knew that what we had wasn't enough. Even the silence between us became heavy. The laughter faded, replaced by scrolling and sighing. I stopped trying to win a game that kept changing rules. She stopped pretending to enjoy the life we built. We were two people sharing space, but living in different worlds. I wanted peace. She wanted proof. I wanted moments. She wanted milestones. Every day felt like another test I didn't study for. And no matter how hard I tried, she always found a new way to say I was losing. I thought love was about being together. She thought love was about being admired. That's when I knew something was breaking. And it wasn't just us, it was me. Our anniversary dinner was supposed to fix things. 4 years together. I thought maybe that still meant something. I picked the Italian place where we had our first date. Warm lights, quiet music, the same corner table as before. I got there early, ordered her favorite wine. Wrote a small card, nothing dramatic. Just a few words about gratitude and love. When Madison arrived, she looked stunning as always. New dress, perfect makeup that practiced smile. She kissed my cheek, sat down and pulled out her phone. While we waited for appetizers, she scrolled through Instagram. "Look at this," she said, showing me her screen. Sarah's boyfriend had just bought her a diamond necklace. "Just because," she added, watching my face. I nodded. "That's nice." She sighed. "Don't you think that's romantic?" "I think it's expensive," I said, trying to joke. She didn't laugh. "It's not about money, Ethan. It's about effort." I looked at the table, the wine, the candlelight. Apparently, none of it counted anymore. Dinner came, and I slid a small box toward her. "Got you something," I said. Her eyes lit up for half a second. Then she opened it and froze. A silver bracelet, simple, elegant, meaningful. She used to say she liked things understated. Now, she looked at it like homework she didn't want to finish. "Oh," she said, "it's nice." Her tone made "nice" sound like an insult. "Not your style?" I asked quietly. She shrugged. "Sarah's necklace has real diamonds. Logan had it custom made." I smiled, but it didn't reach my eyes. "Well, this one didn't require a loan." She laughed softly, but it was sharp around the edges. "You're always so practical," she said. "Never exciting." "What is it you want from me, Madison?" She didn't even hesitate. "I want what Sarah has. A man who makes me proud. Someone who gives me something to brag about." I leaned back. "So this," I gestured around us, "isn't enough." "It's fine," she said, "but fine isn't the goal." Then she leaned forward, voice louder than she realized. "You're comfortable, boring, predictable. Being with you is like dadding a couch." The room went quiet. I stared at her for a long second. Then I nodded. "A couch, huh? Funny, I was thinking the same thing." She blinked, confused. "I need a woman," I said, "not a walking Yelp review." Her smile vanished. I placed cash on the table, stood up, and grabbed my jacket. "Enjoy the next guy," I said. "Can't wait for the sequel." "Ethan, sit down. Don't be dramatic," she hissed. "I'm not," I said. "I'm done." People at nearby tables pretended not to listen. She followed me outside, heels clicking against the sidewalk. "You're seriously leaving?" she asked. "I'm seriously done." She folded her arms. "You're overreacting." "No," I said. "I've just stopped reacting." Her expression softened. Maybe fear, maybe pride. But I didn't wait to find out. For the first time in 4 years, walking away felt easy. I packed my things the next morning. No anger, no shouting, just quiet decisions. A few shirts, books, my laptop. Left the furniture, the pictures, the noise. I found a small, one-bedroom apartment across town. Bare walls, broken blinds, silence that felt new. The first night, I ate pasta on the floor. No phones buzzing, no sighs about someone else's life. It felt strange. Empty but free. I slept better than I had in months. The next day, I bought groceries and a cheap pan. Cooked breakfast like it mattered again. Madison called 3 times that weekend. I didn't answer. Her texts came next. "So that's it. One fight and you disappear." One fight. That's what she called it. I deleted the messages. I started going to the gym after work. The first week was painful. The good kind of pain. Every drop of sweat felt like clearing out her voice in my head. I wasn't trying to impress anyone anymore. Just wanted to feel strong again. Grace, a mutual friend, texted me. "She's telling people you overreacted." I laughed. "Yeah, I guess packing my stuff was a huge overreaction. Grace sent a laughing emoji. Then she said Madison looked miserable at a dinner with friends. I didn't respond. She made her choices. By week 2, my place started to look like a home. I bought a couch from a thrift store, painted the walls white, hung one photo, a landscape, nothing fancy. Peaceful. The kind of peace I'd forgotten existed. Week 3, Grace told me Madison was seeing someone new. A guy named Eric. Finance job, designer suits. Perfect for her. I shrugged. Hope she's happy. She was. Apparently, he talked about himself for 2 hours. Called her high maintenance to her face. I laughed when Grace told me. Not out of spite, just relief. I'd been that man once, the patient audience. Never again. I picked up a freelance project, web work on weekends. Not for money, but purpose. I fixed my blinds, cleaned the kitchen, bought a cheap rug. Every small task made the place feel more alive. Madison's name stopped showing up on my phone. The silence felt like healing. I met neighbors, talked about nothing important. Normal conversations, without competition. By the end of the month, I felt like myself again. I didn't check her posts. Didn't care who she was with. For the first time in years, my life wasn't something to defend. It was mine. Simple. Quiet. Enough. I looked around my apartment one night. Lights low, everything still. No scoreboard. No audience. Just peace. And that was more than I'd ever had with her. I met Claire at a small get-together a few weeks later. She wore jeans and a hoodie. No designer bag, no fake smile. She asked real questions and actually listened. We talked about music, hiking, and bad cooking experiments. She laughed easily, like she didn't have anything to prove. It felt effortless. No filters, no scoreboard, no comparisons. Just 2 people existing in the same moment. I didn't realize how much I missed that feeling. A week later, we grabbed coffee after work. She showed up early, reading a book instead of scrolling her phone. I joked about it. She said, "Real life's more interesting than screens." I believed her. We started seeing each other more. Movies, walks, grocery runs that didn't end in arguments. She didn't care what I drove or how much I made. She cared if I was kind. That was new. One night, I cooked her dinner at my apartment. Simple pasta, salad, cheap wine. She looked around and smiled. This place feels calm, like someone actually lives here. I said, that was the goal. Madison texted that same night. I miss us. I ignored it. The next day, another text came. You can't just erase me. I typed back, I'm not erasing you. I'm just done playing. She didn't reply. Grace later told me Madison's new relationship had ended. Apparently, the guy called her too much. I didn't even react. That chaos wasn't mine anymore. Claire met Grace at another party soon after. Madison was there too. Grace said the air went cold and Claire walked in. Madison stayed on her phone the whole night. Claire helped clean up afterward, chatting and laughing. She didn't need attention to feel valued. I realized then, love doesn't need an audience. A few weeks later, we went to an art fair downtown. Live music, food trucks, people everywhere. I posted one photo, the band, not us. Grace texted later. Madison saw it. She asked if you were dating. I said she made her choice. 2 days later, Madison called. Her voice was quiet, shaky. We had something good. I messed up. Can we talk? I deleted the voicemail. A week after that, she showed up outside my building. You've been ignoring me, she said. Yeah, on purpose. So that's it, 4 years and you just move on. I looked at her. I didn't replace you. I healed from you. Her mouth opened, but no words came. She turned and walked away. That was the last time we spoke. Now, weekends meant hikes with Claire, not arguments about money. Dinners were quiet, not silent. When she laughed, it didn't sound like competition. It sounded like home. One night she asked, "Do you regret any of it?" I said, "Not anymore." Madison showed me who she was. Claire reminded me who I could be. And for the first time in years, I wasn't chasing anything. I'd already found enough. The barbecue was the last time I saw Madison. Claire and I brought pasta salad and helped set up tables. Music played, kids ran around, laughter filled the yard. Madison sat in the corner, phone in hand, pretending not to notice us. Eventually, she walked over. "So this is why you couldn't answer my texts," she said. I smiled. "Hello to you too." She glanced at Claire, then back at me. "You move on fast." I shrugged. "You were dating someone before my boxes were unpacked." Her jaw tightened. "That was different." "Right," I said, "because you did it." She glared. "You think you're better than me now?" "No," I said, "just better off." People nearby went silent, pretending not to listen. Madison's face flushed, and she turned away. Claire looked at me. "You okay?" "Perfectly," I said. We left before sunset, wind soft through the trees. In the car, Claire asked, "Do you ever miss her?" I watched the road ahead. "No," I said. "I just finally stopped missing myself." At home, the lights were warm, the silence kind. For the first time in years, peace didn't feel empty. It felt earned.